A 30,000 home battery system installed free? That's what we're going to get to in today's episode.
Eco, eco, we got that eco energy. You know. We got that eco energy. Plug in eco energy. Let's go. Plug in eco energy. Eco, eco. Got that eco energy. You know.
So, Conrad, we're going to talk about the Eco Energy plus the Energy Well partnership in Illinois. We're going to talk about how we are now able to start to do assessments. We have huge news to share. We've been in this conversation for months. We are finally at the point where now we can offer our customers a reliable battery backup system installed in their home at no cost. I want to be upfront about the program because we feel it's genuinely good for our customers. But we're also going to tell you the whole story, including the parts that you need to think about pretty carefully. Okay. We'll talk about who qualifies and how the whole thing works. So, Conrad, before we get to the numbers, who is Energy Well? And because when someone hears free battery backup, their instincts are skeptical, which ours were as well.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I hear about a free program like that, my first instinct is skepticism, which I think most people are the same way.
I grab my wallet.
Exactly, yeah, hold on to it tight.
Yeah.
And, I mean, looking into Energy Well, they're a great company. I mean, the first thing that I did was I looked up their Google reviews.
Right.
And to be honest, there were a couple of mixed reviews, and we even asked them about a couple of those specific cases head on, and but overall the overwhelming sense was positive.
Right.
And then we have the case that they're not a startup. Right.
Correct.
They have a track record. They've been operating with a very similar program in Texas for quite a while now.
Yes.
Where they're doing the same thing. They're bringing batteries in to people's houses and installing them for free to give them home backup. And
well, that's part of the story.
That's true.
Part of the story. So if you're a ComEd customer in Illinois, you are part of this watchdog service called the CUB, or Citizens Utility Board.
Yep.
They're kind of like a consumer watchdog for electrical rates, gas rates, things like that. They have a published paper on Energy Well, which I think everybody should read. If you're skeptical, if you're interested, definitely put that on your reading list. We'll link to it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But also to note, Illinois, as you know, you have a choice in who you can have as your energy provider. Yeah. Now, ComEd is the company that maintains all of the service to your house. So they have the infrastructure, and that bill doesn't change no matter who you go with.
Right.
But there's a second part of your bill, which is the supply side of the bill. There's supply and then distribution. Mm-hmm. So the supply side of the bill, you can buy your energy from whoever you want. There's some big players who have been around for quite a while. Constellation, I know, is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bunch of them. Anyway, because you have your choice, Energy Well also has another company that they're part of, and I can't remember the name of it right now.
Fanfare.
Yep. Okay. So Fanfare is an energy supplier licensed with the Illinois Commerce Commission, similar to how we get our licensing for EVs and energy efficiency services and also distributed power generation. So, but they're listed with the ICC. So you're actually buying from a legitimate company, and what their commitment to you is, they're going to save you 25% off of your ComEd bill, and or not ComEd bill, but the supply side of your ComEd bill.
That's pretty aggressive.
It's very aggressive. In fact, it's on par with every other one I've seen.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies started off with a 20% discount, but now I see pretty much across the board a 25% discount. So basically, you're entering into a 15-year agreement by accepting these free batteries, in which Energy Well can energy arbitrage ComEd and buy the power cheap overnight and then sell it back to you during peak times.
Huh. Interesting. So I'm failing to understand how Energy Well wins here, right? Because I see how the customer wins. I mean, that's pretty clear. They're getting free batteries.
Free batteries, it's a battery backup and a discount on the ComEd bill. But the whole reason why Energy Well is able to win here is because they buy from ComEd at their overnight rates, which are very, very, very low. And they sell back, they buy that power, they store it in their batteries, and they sell it back to you during the day during peak times.
Got it.
They can also sell it back to the grid under this Illinois law that was passed. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the payoff is basically not taxing the grid at peak hours.
Yeah.
And they're able to switch you off of ComEd power over to battery power.
Right.
Every single day they're doing this. So they're selling you power every single day.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they're not playing a quick game. They're playing a pretty long game with these batteries.
It's a long game battery. In fact, we did an episode a few episodes back about battery backup.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the payoff on battery backups was somewhere between 9 and 15 years, depending on how you went about your energy arbitrage, how much money you spent on the system and things like that. What's going on here is basically the same thing, except you don't have to make that initial investment of buying those backup batteries.
Right. Okay.
So you're not saving as much per se on a daily basis.
Right.
But if you remember the math, unless you're ready to write a $30,000 to $60,000 check for your batteries on your house, then this would be a second best scenario.
Yeah.
Actually, in a lot of ways, I think this is the best scenario. You don't have to maintain the batteries. Energy Well does that. You don't have to worry about any of the inverter issues or any of the smart panel issues or anything. It's all their equipment, so they maintain it.
Got it.
So the payoff is kind of twofold. One, they're able to buy power off peak, sell it back to you during regular hours. They're able, so that's arbitrage. And then also, on top of that, they're also able to push power back onto the grid.
Yeah.
They can sell some power back to ComEd as well.
Right.
So it's good for the grid as well.
Yeah.
And where we're going to see the greatest benefit is like during our summertime when we have a lot of peak usage, and they'd have rolling brownouts. Now they can just switch over to battery backup.
Right.
Yeah, and roll that out.
And so that makes a lot of sense with the stuff that we've been talking about over the past few weeks, with the grid being at the capacity that it has.
Yeah.
And they're staring down the barrel, all of these big companies, of needing to do billions of dollars of infrastructure improvement.
Add insult to injury. Last Monday we had a storm come through here.
Yep.
Just came up out of nowhere. No one was expecting it. We had multiple tornadoes in the area.
Yep.
We had 600,000, plus or minus 600,000 ComEd customers out. Utility poles down everywhere.
Yeah.
Services pulled off of houses. Light poles blown down. I think I made a Facebook post about some of the repairs we were doing.
I saw it.
We were running around like crazy last week just trying to get people power back. But if you have these batteries on your home, even if your service got completely disconnected from the house, you have battery backup.
Yeah. No, I think you actually had a story about that. A guy who had a generator was in the same situation. He, his service mast was ripped right off of his house, but he still had generator power. So
correct.
It wasn't
for 6 days.
Yeah.
For 6 days he was without power. Yeah. Right.
That's crazy. But talking about the batteries.
Why don't we get into hardware here?
Yeah.
And I think you're the pro on this, so let me ask the questions.
All right.
So there are a lot of batteries out there, and we're licensed, or I don't know what the word is. We're certified. We're certified with a lot of different companies. We're certified with Tesla. We're certified with Franklin Power. We're certified with Generac, and we're also certified with the company that we're going to be doing business with is EcoFlow.
Yeah.
EcoFlow's batteries are the ones that are going to be installed under this program here. So let's talk about the EcoFlow. This is the Ocean.
This is the Ocean Pro battery, which is their EcoFlow's top of the line battery.
Okay.
I mean, EcoFlow makes a ton of solar panels and battery technology.
Right.
And they actually fairly recently, within the past couple of years, came out with this bolted onto a house style of battery, just like the Tesla
just like the Powerwall.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And EcoFlow did a couple of really cool things that haven't really been done before in the industry.
Okay.
One of which is that they made their batteries with an active fire suppression technology.
Interesting.
And so...
any of the other batteries we sell have that on there?
No.
Wow.
No, EcoFlow is the only one in the industry that put as much of an emphasis onto safety and really robust construction on their batteries.
Okay.
So active fire suppression is one, right? The other is a solid aluminum exterior, right? So it's got the highest impact resistance of any battery on the market.
Very, very, very important for lithium-ion batteries.
They actually have a video on their YouTube channel that has a car. They drove a car into the side of one of the batteries, simulating, if it was in your garage and you were coming in a little too hot, or maybe somebody, accidentally clips it off the road, or, maybe your kids are playing outside and they have, we have four-wheelers. If they have four-wheelers and they accidentally hit it, you want to make sure that battery is built to withstand stuff like that. Yeah. And the EcoFlow really is. Okay. The other thing that they did is, we have hot summers and cold winters here. Definitely. We also get a lot of rainfall, a lot of, I was driving back in the last storm and there were flash flood warnings the entire time. And EcoFlow has made their battery completely water resistant up to 1 meter, 3.3 feet. Okay. You could literally install the thing, not that you should, but you could literally install the thing in a pool.
We're not going to be installing in pools, so please don't ask that question.
Right, but that just kind of speaks to the methodology in the design of these batteries and how they really, really wanted the things to be safe. It's the only battery on the market that has the UL 9540B certification, which... it means nothing without knowing the listing, but basically what that means is it's the strongest battery out there. Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool.
It got recognized by Time Magazine too, didn't it?
Yeah. 2025, what was it? Best invention of the year.
Man, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so we're able to link these batteries up. How many batteries are we putting on a house?
Yeah, so it depends a little bit on location, right? In our area, what we've found, and we've submitted how many, 20, 30 permits at this point?
A lot.
What we found is that Chicago is the only location that kind of limits the amount of batteries that they'll let you put on. So
they're still sensitive about the fire.
That they are. So if you're in Chicago, you're going to be getting 2 batteries. Right. So 20,000 watt hours, 20 kilowatt hours of backup power and energy arbitrage opportunity for Energy Well. And that should be able to last you in between a day and 2 days, depending on how you conserve your energy in an outage.
And if you're outside the city of Chicago?
If you're outside the city of Chicago, then it's double. We're putting 4 batteries on.
You're getting 40 kW of battery backup installed on your house for free, no charge.
Yeah. And like I was saying, it doubles with the doubling in capacity. Sure. So, assuming a fairly reasonable house, you're going to get in between 2 and 4 days of backup power. Yeah. Which it's really interesting. You mentioned the storm, and there were some customers who were out of power for 4 or 5 days. Yeah. But the vast majority of the outages, I was looking at it, right as that storm was coming through, there were 600,000 and change customers out of power with ComEd. Right. Within the next day, that was down to 200,000. Okay. Right? Yeah. So the majority of these outages are taken care of within a day to 2 days.
I think the average power outage was 8 hours.
4 hours.
Oh.
Average power hour.
Significantly less than what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
So this battery would easily cover that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. These batteries, your house is not using more than 40 kilowatt hours in a 4-hour period. No. If it is, then call us out. Call us out. You've got something going on. Yeah. So, it's a really cool system. The other thing that EcoFlow does far and away better than the competition is their inverter.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, we didn't even get to that.
Right,
inverter and a smart panel. Yeah. Which are part of this installation. So if you have Eco Energy come out to do this install for you, you'll get what's the name of their smart panel?
Basically, it's their panel 3, smart panel 3.
Smart panel 3.
Yeah.
A 24 kW power inverter that's capable of producing 100 amps
Yeah.
continuously.
Yeah.
And 40 kW of batteries.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to power anything that you want it to power in your house.
Yeah.
Functionally.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like, even looking at, like you said, we install all sorts of batteries.
Yeah.
The biggest competitor to this EcoFlow would be the Tesla. I mean,
Probably.
they're the number one name in the game.
Yeah.
And the Tesla comes with a 13 kilowatt inverter.
Right.
Right? So
it's 50 amps.
50 amps
or so. So we're doubling the capacity, the output capacity of the production.
Yeah. Exactly. And that makes a difference.
It does.
Especially the biggest thing that makes a difference for is startup current.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to run your AC, if it's a blazing summer day and you need your AC on, the Tesla can most likely do it. I mean, they've gotten a lot better. Okay. But with a 24 kilowatt inverter, there's no question on if it can do it. It can 100% make that work.
Yeah. And battery switchover, I think we talked about this in that episode about batteries versus generators. A battery switchover is milliseconds.
Yeah.
Your electronics don't even realize what's going on.
Yep.
And a generator's 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah. So I got a funny story about that. We were over the past couple of weeks, we were at my uncle's house, and we were watching the World Cup game. And during that World Cup game, it was storming out. It was really coming down. And we lost power right at like a critical moment of the game. We were all on the edge of our seats. Yep. And he has a generator, a standby generator, not batteries. So we were sitting there for the next 15, 20 seconds waiting for that generator to kick on so we could figure out what happened with this England goal.
Yeah.
And batteries don't do that.
Right.
Batteries, I mean, the Ocean Pros have a 10 millisecond switchover time.
Yep.
So your lights won't flicker. If you've got sensitive electronics, I mean, I've got computers, all stuff that I care about. I don't want that stuff going. Servers, everything. And they literally won't even know that the power's out because it is instantaneous, faster than I can snap my fingers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's incredible. None of your clocks are going to be have to be reset. You're not going to have to worry about any of that normal stuff that you do.
Okay.
It's really, really cool technology.
So this battery install, the value of what we're installing is somewhere around $30,000 with the 4 batteries, the inverter, and the
smart panel.
It's about a $30,000 investment. So that's fully permitted, installed, and all that. How is Energy Well recouping their investment in this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to make sense for them. Energy Well is a private company.
Yeah.
And they're very well funded.
Yeah.
To get these batteries installed into homes. How does it make sense for them to give us 25% off ComEd's rate, give us battery backup, and talk about that?
And that's one of the most interesting things about Energy Well as a company, right? We're used to dealing with typically state-mandated rebates or incentive programs, right? Typically, there's legislation around something like this.
Correct. And there is with this as well.
Right. There is.
There is an incentive for them to install batteries.
Right. Yeah. Yes, but it's not 100% of the cost.
Correct.
And Energy Well is a privately funded company.
Yeah.
Right. They're not a public organization. So the way that they make their money is through a fancy thing called energy arbitrage.
I love that word.
Yeah, me too. And also what they're essentially doing is creating what's called a virtual power plant at your house.
Right.
And so what that means is that they're essentially charging the batteries overnight when electricity is super cheap, and they're storing it in those batteries until you need it. Right. So
they're buying it at 3 cents, 2 cents kilowatt hour.
Yep.
And then they're selling it back to you at
roughly 7.5 cents per kilowatt. And there's your math right there.
Yep.
And it's not going to be a quick payoff, right?
No.
They're playing probably a 10-year game from what my numbers indicate.
Yeah.
On this investment.
Yeah.
And it's really it's interesting to see doors like this open.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was no ability to do this. I mean, even last year, there was really no financial ability to do this. But we just set a new power record a few weeks ago in our grid of high consumption. It was the first record that we set since 2006.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at that, basically going, what are we supposed to do with an aging grid and a consumer base that's using more electricity than ever? And the solution to that, rather than spend billions of dollars on grid upgrades, seems to be battery backup.
Yeah.
And this is one of the first steps in our area we've seen.
A lot of this came from legislation. I'm trying to scroll through and figure it out, but legislation called the Illinois Energy or Illinois Grid Improvement. I can't find it in the script, but it was a law that was signed back in January and went into effect in June, which basically allows ComEd and other power companies. I know Ameren in Central Illinois has a similar program where they're allowed to now invest in battery backups as part of a grid sustainability.
Yeah.
And that actually means a lot because now these guys are financially incentivized to do it.
Right.
And if you want to buy batteries, we still sell batteries. We get people calling in regularly saying, hey, we want to buy batteries for our home, and we'll still sell them to you. Right. But we'll also offer you this free option now, which is really fantastic.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get into what the costs are like on average. Like so, Energy Well is offering right now a 25% savings during on-peak time against ComEd's ComEd
price to compare
rate. Which is currently sitting at
10.4 cents per kilowatt hour.
10.4 cents. So they're during on peak they're at 7.8 cents right now.
Exactly.
And then off peak ComEd's 10.4 still.
Yep.
And then their off peak is 7.49.
Yep.
Per kilowatt hour. So it's 25% less on peak, 28% less off peak.
Yeah.
And as part of the agreement that you sign with Energy Well, or not Energy Well, but the other
Fanfare.
Fanfare, they will give you the guaranteed lowest price available.
Yeah.
So against ComEd's advertised rate, price to compare rate. So you're always going to be saving money over ComEd, guaranteed. However, there may be other energy companies that come in that have a lower rate, possibly. That's not part of this agreement.
Right.
Because they already invested the big money in batteries and everything else.
Yeah.
So you're kind of living with that.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, we should talk about everything.
Yeah.
The good and the bad
and ugly.
This.
I mean, we don't want surprises.
No.
We have long-term customers.
Yeah.
We want you to be happy long-term. And, so what does this look like on an average house, monthly basis? How much are they going to be saving by switching over to Energy Well and getting this energy arbitrage?
Yeah. So based on the ComEd data that we have, the average house in the ComEd territory is using 900 kilowatt hours per month.
Okay.
Right? So that's your baseline.
Yeah.
And 80% of that usage is on peak.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to be saving 25% of 80% of your bill on peak and 28% of the 20% that's off peak.
Right.
On average, you're going to save in between $23 and $27 a month.
Okay. So this isn't a windfall.
No.
It's not a windfall. You're not going to cut your ComEd bill in half.
No.
It's for sure. There's still going to be you're going to pay usage. You're going to pay your delivery fee. That doesn't change. But your supply side you'll see a reduction in supply side.
Yeah.
Which is like counter everything we've been running up until now.
Oh yeah.
We get a lot of phone calls with customers that are not happy with rate increases.
Yeah.
They think it's something on their end.
Right.
Like what am I doing that's burning more energy? You're not. The rate went up. Every single time there's a rate increase, we get a flood of phone calls.
Yeah.
Asking us to come out there and find out why their energy consumption is so high. It's actually the same. You can point on the usage.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool thing that ComEd does.
Yeah.
They have a graph of your past 12 months
I
of
think 13
usage.
months. Yeah.
Every single month that your bill comes,
Yep.
it has it right on there.
Yep.
And you can look at both the month before the current month and the same month last year.
Correct.
And you can see, is this roughly in line? Or
Right.
is something going crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it just the rate went up again?
Right. Yeah. And most of the time that's what it is. But it
Yep.
is cool that they give you that little tool that
Yeah.
can kind of tell you if something's a little goofy.
So let's go through some of the things that people should really understand.
Yeah.
This is 2 separate contracts.
Yep.
One contract's with Energy Well. Energy Well will supply the batteries, will maintain the batteries, will everything to do with the batteries.
Yep.
And then the second agreement is with
Fanfare.
Yep. Who's ICC listed energy supplier, and they will actually be your new electricity provider.
Yep.
And you'll get a monthly bill from them for the usage part of your bill.
Yeah.
Okay. How long is this agreement for?
This is a 15-year agreement.
Okay, a 15-year agreement. Energy Well owns and operates the batteries in your home.
Yep.
However, you get the benefit of a lower bill, and you also get the benefit of battery backup.
Yeah.
In the event of a storm or a power outage.
Yep.
Okay. And the rate is, I think it's fixed in the supply agreement, right?
The rate.
I think it's fixed for 2 years. And
Correct.
then after 2 years, then it's always going to be cheaper than the price to compare.
Yep.
But it may not be the 25% savings that the first 2 years came in at.
That is my understanding.
Yeah, that's what I understand as well.
Yep.
Okay. So, but you will be getting the lowest rate. You're not going to double ComEd's price
Right.
to compare rate kind of
Yep.
a thing. Okay. If somebody wants to get out of this contract early, I think we read there's a $500 early termination fee.
Yep.
If you want to keep the batteries, there's a $15,000 charge for non-recoverable battery cancellation fee.
Yep.
So if you want to keep the batteries and not continue on with the contract, it's a $15,000 charge for that. If you sell your house, what happens?
So the new owner can take up the same agreement.
Okay.
Essentially, they would have to agree to the same things you did.
Right.
If
Save
they
money on your ComEd bill, have battery
Right.
backup. Okay.
Yeah.
Really hard to get somebody to agree to that.
Yeah.
All right.
But if they choose not to, then
Right.
there's just a $500 early cancellation
Correct.
fee.
And they'll come out and take the batteries off. And
Yep.
Okay. I that's my understanding of how it works. So, is the homeowner responsible for maintenance on the batteries?
No, I mean that's the
Inverter.
thing. Energy Well owns the batteries, the inverter, the smart panel.
Yeah.
So any maintenance on those 3 items is their responsibility.
And it is transferable.
Yep.
Which is really important for
Yep.
people who are not planning on being in their house for 15 years.
Right.
Right.
Or even if you are planning to be there, but you just need the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At any point in time, you can scratch out a check for $15,000, which is probably half the cost of what it costs Energy Well to put the batteries in.
Right.
And that doesn't sound that horrible either.
No, honestly.
Okay. So we want to talk about who this would be a good fit for.
Yeah.
So who would this not make sense for as well, right? Because there are people that this doesn't make sense for.
Oh, yeah.
One, if you're a renter or you're a renter in a home, condo, or an apartment building.
Yep.
This is not for you.
Yeah.
You have to be a homeowner. That's Energy Well's policy.
Yep.
Okay.
Another good fit would be obviously someone in the ComEd territory.
Right.
That's where we're operating right
Yes.
now. And then if you plan on staying for the next few years in your house at least.
Yeah.
Just because you want some of the upside of what you're signing up
Yeah.
for. So that would be good.
Yeah, even if you have to pay the $500 cancellation fee, you got the benefit of the batteries for the time that you were there.
Yeah.
That
And
seems pretty.
Assuming you're saving $25 a month, that's only going to take a few years if you have to pay the $500
Right.
fee anyway.
The other thing, the not right fit would be if you have solar.
Yeah.
Energy Well stipulates in their policy that if you have solar, you do not qualify for their battery program.
Yep. Yeah. So stay away if you have solar. Don't call us.
Well, if you call us and you want to do battery backups, just know that you can't be part of that program. But we
Right.
do. We also install batteries, the Tesla wall panels, and everybody else. So
Yeah.
If you want backup batteries without paying for them, this is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you want a guarantee on the equipment, 15 years, no hassle, warranty on the equipment, this is a good fit. So I think overall, out of all of the deals that I've seen come up for either battery installation, obviously this is the number one best deal that we found.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why we chose to partner with these guys. I actually spent some time on the phone with the CEO of the company, and a phenomenal, very, very well-run company. We've been doing business now for months.
Yeah.
And we're very impressed with them. I think the feeling is mutual. But we've decided to offer this to our customers because we feel that this is a good product and a good solution for you.
Yeah. And like you said, we have a lot of really long-term customers.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be offering this if we didn't genuinely believe it.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I was telling my cousin the other day that he should sign up for this.
Yeah.
Because
why were you telling him that the other day?
that's a great story. We were talking about the storms that just came through last week, and he was one of the affected customers that was out of power. And he was thinking about his fridge and his freezer that were full of food. And he was like, I really don't want to lose all this. So he went out, he bought a generator, he bought a transfer switch kit, and then he called me to ask him.
What did he spend?
He spent all in about $1,250 for a 6,500 watt generator.
2.25 times the cancellation fee.
Yep, exactly. And he was asking me while we do this, like, how do I get my house to a point where I don't have to come wheel this thing out, start it up, plug it in, do the transfer switch thing every single time this happens?
Yep.
And I was telling him battery storage is the answer for you.
Yeah.
If you're tired of the hassle of all my clocks reset, I have to worry about my fridge
fridge and freezer.
Right, and
That's
especially
huge.
Because both people at that house work full time.
Yep.
So if they get an outage at 9 a.m., nobody's home until 5 p.m. That fridge and freezer are going to be gone.
Let's get on to process here.
Yeah.
How can people get signed up?
Yeah, so we've made it pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
If you go to our website, www.ecoenergy1.com, and we'll have this listed in the description too.
Yeah.
And you just go right at the top of our website. There's a banner that says free backup batteries.
Save 25% on your electricity and get a free battery backup.
Yep, exactly. There's a button right below there. Click that button. It'll take you directly to the Energy Well page.
Right.
It'll have you fill out some stuff. You're going to need to take a picture of your panel in your basement. ComEd bill outside of your house. It's actually going to have you enter your ComEd account number as well, so make sure to have that handy. And it's just going to ask you some basic questions. After that, you're going to get on the list that they send us, which is a long list.
Very long list. Keeps getting longer.
Keeps getting longer. But they're going to send you to us, and we're going to schedule a time to go to your house and do a site assessment. And we'll
have one of our trained personnel out at your house, looking at your panel, looking at your current setup, looking at where the batteries can go, making some recommendations, and then we feed all that information back to Energy Well. Energy Well will approve or deny the project based on the work involved.
Yeah.
And you will know within a couple of days if your project qualifies, and if you do, then you get on the permit list.
Yeah.
We apply for your permit immediately and then get you on the install list after that. So there's a couple lists you got to be on, but it's not that painful.
Yeah.
And out of sight, out of mind. A month will go by before you even know it.
And speaking of that month going by, with the number of storms we're getting in Illinois this year,
Lord.
Illinois is number one in the nation.
We've had over 200 tornadoes in Illinois this year. Do you know that?
We are number one in the nation for thunderstorms and tornadoes.
Yeah, we're just getting beat.
Right. So a lot of people are wondering right now, like, how fast can we get this thing installed? How long is this process going to take to go through?
It depends what municipality.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
It's true.
Some municipalities are a couple days, some are a couple weeks. So
some are same day.
Some are same day. Yeah. Chicago.
But, average.
Yeah, average probably about a 2-week approval time.
Okay. And then
you get on the install list. Like I just said, probably a month to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Start to finish from the time you log onto the website and upload the bill to the time you get your battery backup.
That's not that long.
It's really not.
It's a pretty quick turnaround for the level of work that we're doing.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah. It might even be faster.
Yeah.
Because as this progresses and as we're rolling out with it, we might be able to tighten up the schedule. But yeah, right now that's what it's looking like.
Okay.
So yeah, once again, Eco Energy Services, Energy Wells partner on the ground. We're the ones doing the installs. We are the ones doing the site assessments, and we look forward to being able to help you get some free batteries, free battery backup for your house. You got anything else?
I don't think so, other than this is a really great program.
Oh man,
unless you're one of the people that we said, if you are this, then
if you have
don't
solar,
qualify.
if you're an apartment, yeah. If
you're
not
townhouses
don't qualify either.
Yeah.
So, but if you're not one of those guys, definitely get on our website, click on that link, fill out the forms, get everything done. You'll get contacted by us to get that assessment scheduled. And next thing you know, you're going to have approvals and batteries on the way. So I highly encourage you, share this episode with friends, with family who you want to be able to take advantage of this. There is a limited amount of money. I mean, it's a pretty big pot of money, but there is a limited amount.
Yeah.
And I would say get on it sooner than later before these deals change, because they will.
Oh, yeah.
As they hit their market saturation rates, they will change. So get on it as soon as you can. Get your batteries and get saving money on your electric bill every month. And once again, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time, as always. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. We look forward to bringing you many more in the future.
Yeah.
But great. Thanks all.